So it's time to reveal our Halloween Domination and also a little bit of a striping contest that I was doing. Let's show you exactly what I'm talking about, starting right now. Back when I started watching lawn videos on YouTube, Alan Hain was always talking about Halloween as the greatest time to really showcase your yard, because what other time in the year will you have so many people walking up by your yard, maybe walking into your driveway? If it's looking its best right now, then you might have a few people who are going to notice. And so every year I try to just make my lawn look the best. It's also a good time of year for us here in the fall when things are pretty naturally looking fairly good. And this year we're a little bit colder than I would like it to be, so it is what it is, but I think I'm holding on to the color pretty well. But so for a little added twist this year, Real Low Dad on YouTube challenged me to a striping contest, and we were going to reveal right around the Halloween time. So now we're here, and it is time to reveal what I came up with for my striping and for this contest. So starting with the backyard here, this idea that I came up with is called the runway. And so to give you the specifics here, I'm using my Toro Time Master, cutting at 2.5 inches here on Kentucky Bluegrass, and I also am using the Toro striper for the striping kit. So my brother is actually an airline pilot, and I kind of thought it would be cool to kind of have a little bit of a theme there. So it's pretty common for me to do some cross-cutting stripes and things like that, but I decided to do just something a little bit different here and just something fun, and it kind of turned out looking like a runway, so I figured I would call this one the runway. So really what I did was cross-cut the yard first, and then I just went over those middle sections with the striping kit, and so that kind of created a runway look, and here's a couple good looks at it from above. So onto the side yard renovation area that I seeded in late August. It's looking fantastic. I'm down to 3/4 of an inch on the cut here with the reel mower, and I couldn't be more impressed with how it looks, so I decided to do something fairly traditional here. I'm just going with double wide squares. So I cut double wide with my Swardman in one direction, cut double wide in the other direction to create kind of a square look there. My yard is not growing very much anymore. I wanted to add a little bit of extra flair to this and maybe do some kind of cross cut in between or do something cool with it. But after I put this pattern in there, the lawn really has not been growing very much, and I couldn't get much of a different pattern to really show. So this one's kind of burned in there, and I really like the way it looks. The color is great. The iron that I used about a week ago really brought out some of the darker green. Let's take a few more looks here from above at this side section. Now a few of you also wanted to see kind of a close-up picture of how thick the turf is on that renovation cut at 3/4 of an inch, so I'll put something up on the screen here. That should give you an idea of kind of how tight it is, and the bluegrass will begin to thicken it up even more next year. So the ryegrass there is getting pretty thick on its own, but there's bluegrass in between that will start to really thicken up next season and kind of really create a thick turf there, and I'm pretty impressed with the way it looks already, so I can't wait to see what happens next spring. I was originally intending on doing something fun with the front yard too, but since it's only about 5 weeks old now after renovation and we had a lot of cold temperatures, it just didn't get it to a state of maturity that I could do a whole lot with it, so I just put some regular stripes in it with the Toro Time Master cut at 2 inches. There's some leaves that have fallen on it in the last couple days too, so I might try to go over that, mulch them up one more time before we get to Halloween. But front yard, just pretty much straight stripes, 2 inches with the Time Master, and I also had the striping kit on as well, and that's pretty much that. So I'd intended to maybe do something a little more fun than that, but it does look pretty good for being only 5 weeks old, and next spring we should be able to have some fun with some various stripes and fun things to do in the front yard. I had a lot of fun with this. I think there's more fun to have with striping in the future for sure. The more I can get the front yard going and the more I can use the reel mower there, I think we can come up with some fun things. But check out my competition and the striping that he did on his yard. I'll have a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you next time.